Good evening, Toastmaster members and guests. My name is Ciara Murphy, and one thing that you probably don't know about me is that I was born blind. Indeed, I didn't even learn this fact for myself until I was 20 years old. It might surprise you even more to know that to this very day, I'm still classified as blind. Now, before you start wondering how I've kept this quite obvious fact from you for so long, let me begin by saying that the blindness I suffer from isn't what you might think, in that it's not related to my sight. I'd like to demonstrate. Please close your eyes for me. Now picture a beach. Perhaps it's a beach that you know well, maybe one here in Noosa. Perhaps it's a beach that doesn't exist, one you just made up in your mind. Maybe your beach is crowded, or maybe it's there just for you. If you close your eyes and don't see a beach, then you should probably come and talk to me at the end of this speech. You can open your eyes now. When I close my eyes and try to picture a beach, I see nothing. In fact, whenever I close my eyes, the only thing I see in my head is darkness. The blindness that I suffer from is mental, in that I don't and never have had the ability to visualize. This revelation that I was and had always been blind came to me when I was at university. A friend and I used to go to yoga classes each week, an hour of stretching followed by a short meditation from the teacher. At the end of one such session, I remember saying to my friend, I think it's so stupid that he always asks us to imagine the colour yellow or picture ourselves on a beach. People can't do that. She turned to me. What do you mean? Well, people can't see things in their heads. It doesn't make sense. She's one of the people that I believe was brought into my life for a specific purpose, because it was then that she explained to me that most people do indeed see things in their head. However, a friend of hers had complained about the same issue and discovered that they had this condition called aphantasia. That evening, I sat in front of my laptop researching aphantasia, and everything fell into place. Apparently, there are people out there who don't see anything when they shut their eyes, just like me. Their experiences felt like my experiences. All of us thinking that counting sheep was just a metaphor. All of us having problems with facial recognition and putting faces to names. It all made sense now. And yet, with this accomplishment of unlocking this great big secret also came the realization that something was missing. All these years, I'd thought that I was pretty normal, that I saw things the same as other people, and now it turned out that parts of my brain weren't connected properly. Knowing that I have this condition has both helped and hindered. It's helped explain why I see and deal with things differently to other people. But it's hindered because it's drawn attention to my ignorance over the small tasks that I thought everyone struggled with. You mean some people don't have to continuously drill sentences into their heads so that they can spit them out again for exams? They can just picture the page of the textbook and write that down? That some people can remember how to do tasks they haven't done for a while by visualizing the last time that they did it, rather than feeling like they're learning them again and reteaching themselves. Why did I have to have this thing that made little tasks like that a bit more difficult? Yes, there are a number of challenges associated with aphantasia, but I like to think that there's always a silver lining. My aphantasia interfering with my performance and enjoyment in the corporate world is one of the reasons why I quit my last job. That led me to here, and I can't say I'm mad about that. I also like to think that aphantasia has its benefits too. Firstly, I find it physically impossible to hold grudges because I can't relive past events and recall whatever someone did to annoy me. Secondly, I find it easier to move on from loss and grief because people just fade out of my mind. Just don't ask me to help you identify people from a police lineup. Thirdly, the only time that I can live in is the present because I don't have a visual memory to remember the past and I can't imagine or picture the future. This really means that I have to carpe the diem, seize the day, because the only time that exists to me is the now. So I do, and try to grasp all those opportunities that come to me. If you ask me now if I wished I didn't have aphantasia, I'm not entirely sure what my answer would be. Of course, I'd love to revisit the good times and fantastic experiences I've had, to rewatch the beautiful sunrises and sunsets I've seen, and to remember the faces of friends and family that I don't get to see very much anymore. But I guess this is all part of who I am, just another thing that makes me me. And hey, I got to write a Toastmasters speech out of it, so that's a thumbs up from me.